Oh, a moment of truth. I didn't hook up the intake boot. It just occurred to me. I'm gonna go put that clamp on right now. Okay, it's connected now. Still don't sound good. But it is running a little better. Huh. Okay, one thing I did change is the map sensor. I put an old map sensor on it that I had. I may need to switch that back. Or it could just have to flush out all the fuel too. I took the valve cover off on the driver's side here because that's where I'm suspecting this issue is. And I'm looking at all the rockers and I'm checking them to see, yeah, okay, cylinder 1, that's tight. Cylinder 2 is tight. I'm sorry, 1, 3, this is cylinder 5. Oh, what's this rocker doing back here? And that valve spring. So right now I think the valve is stuck open, so there's got to be some debris in there or something happening, or the valve is bent or whatever, but that's certainly where my problem is right now. Or the spring is broken. That could be a broken spring. I can't tell really, 'cause it should be taller. I gotta figure some shit out here. I'm happy, but I'm not happy. At least I think I'm happy. So cylinder number 5 on the driver's side here at the back. I officially have a busted valve spring. I don't know if it's bright enough to see, but you can see the extra bit of spring floating around inside there. So the valve spring's busted. You know what? That's good, because at least there's something physically wrong here. Now I have to find out if I change them all as a set or if I can just change one, or I don't know. I know what the right thing is. We're going to see what ends up happening here. At least this makes me feel better, knowing that there is something physically wrong that's out of my control. Alright. Well, let's see what's next. I ordered a single new spring from Summit Racing, and that's where these originally came from. I still have the original part number from all the engine rebuild parts, which is now paying off to be a good thing, because I can reference exactly what is inside that truck, because nothing was stock. Everything was replaced with something a little bit better, a little bit different, or upgraded or something. So I've got that on order. It looks like it'll be a couple days out before it can arrive. So in the meantime, I have to remove the broken valve spring install a new spring and reuse the same retainer, the snap clip on the top, the 2-piece there. And I think I'm going to end up making a little compressing tool to do this while leaving the cylinder head on the engine, because I don't want to pull this apart. So I'm going to make it happen where I can do everything under the hood without any troubles. It's going to take a little bit of engineering on my part, but I'm confident that I can make this work. And then maybe I'll actually wash this thing and buy some window seals and paint it. Who knows? It only took about 2 weeks, but my spring finally arrived. The shipping was 4 times the cost of the spring. That's what you get for living in Canada. So, this is my compression tester adapted to a small regulator with some different fittings. So I should be able to thread this right into the cylinder and pressurize that cylinder number 5 to keep that rear valve closed, that exhaust valve, which I think it is. Let's pop the hood and get this thing set up. Alright, so my compression tester is connected. I went through the wheel well here because it's a little easier for me to get access to it. So let's put a bit of air into this and see if we can't get that valve to hold closed. Okay, so I've only let's see, it looks like maybe 15 psi or something is what I'm running right now. Okay, that valve is still dropped. Let me help it up a little here. Perfect. Oh geez, look at that. Very good. So the retainer's going to come right off. I'm going to get my fingers in there so I can get good access to everything and get my pry bar and everything ready. This is good news. The retainer lifted right out without any fight. Let's see if this will come off here. Very good. Next. Okay. Next. That's wild. I suppose I should confirm that the new spring is the same length and size as the old spring. I can't see any markings on it, but let me compare the two side by side. They're exactly the same diameter, and unbroken, they look the same size of spring. I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be okay. Now, if the real secret is, can I get this thing back in the truck? That's where I think my troubles are going to lie. But I definitely have to try it. Is there a top and bottom? They look the same. I'm gonna say no. Now I have to depress the spring in order to get the retainers back on right here. So what I'm going to do is get my pry bar out, and I apologize if you're not going to see this part, but I really don't have a lot of working space. is removing my temporary bolt that I was able to pry from. So I'm going to piss a bit of coolant here, but that's okay. And then let me change out sockets to my, there's my, what's the rocker arm go on? Is it a pedestal? Is it a stud? I'm not sure now. I don't know exactly what that would be. Whoa. Jeez. Dabble do ya? Let's get rid of the rest of that. Actually, wipe this in. That's plenty. Plenty. So that's red thread lock. There was some in there when I took it out. So I probably need some when I put it back. Okay. Torque wrench on this. Set that to, I don't know, what sounds realistic to that? 50? I should look it up. There's 50 for sure. Let me googly search that one real fast. So I just hit the voice activated Google search and I said torque spec for a rocker stud. So maybe it's called a stud. And the first pop-up is screw in stud guide plates torque ? Team Camaro Tech. It says on rocker arms we usually torque them to 50 foot-pounds. That's exactly what I just did by coincidence. Good. So that's going to be fine. Now I'm going to get the rocker itself reinstalled here over top of my valve. I need to make sure that my push rod is still seated. It feels like it's seated properly. It's rolling nicely. I think it's in, yeah, that is on the lifter. That's good. So now my roller lifter here. I can't do this with one hand. This is when I drop stuff and it falls under the truck and it's gone forever. Okay. It sits here. I gotta get my socket on that. I'm gonna snug that down just to get it ready for temporary startup. Okay, so I'll adjust that lifter after it's running. What I've done now is I've run it down almost the same as what the others are run down to. I can feel the stud just coming through the height of the nut, and I'm basically flush here, so I think I might get a bit of a tick, and that'll just mean I snug it up a bit. That's easy. So let's get this thing ready to try and run. So I don't know if this would be take 2, 3, 4, 7, whatever it might be. We're going to see now what happens when I try to start it yet again. Valve cover's off, and that's so I can make any adjustments to the rocker necessary. Everything is out of the way. It's been reinstalled where is required. The only thing is the valve cover, the gasket, the oil fill hole there. That I think we're clear. A little nervous. It's been a while. Beautiful sound. pop up there, you know. Yep, oil's bleeding in. Yes, that means it's in the right place. They're all bleeding oil. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh. I can get my emissions. Alright, we're gonna let her warm up a bit. It's break-in procedure on the spring. I did read about that. And it's let the vehicle get to regular running temperature. And then you shut it down, let it cool off. Pretty simple. Actually, it doesn't sound like it's knocking at all. It might be okay with the way that thing's set up now. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it like it is. I'll put that valve cover back on and then we'll just give her hell. A bit of coolant got into the head, so if there's smoke, that kind of makes sense, but it's also cold, so I mean, it's not cold outside, but the engine's cold. I've got good oil pressure. My RPM is low and slow and steady. That's what I like. Get that fan kicked on. Here we go. Fan is on. Let's see here. Oh yeah, fan's kicking. That's a good sound. Alright. I'm going to shut this off. Put that valve cover on. Well, here we are in the Blazer, driving it. And I've got a smile on my face and I don't look confused and frustrated and embarrassed, I guess. Obviously, I changed that spider injector and that clearly wasn't my issue. Now, I skipped steps and I paid the price, right? This is a perfect learning example. You know, if you've got an issue and you go through the book, let's say, just for sake of argument, and they're saying, oh yeah, these are the things you need to check for. Compression is one of them. Well, there's like 12,000 kilometers on this engine, on this rebuild. So I'm thinking, wow, compression, yeah, my rings are still new, the engine oil comes out clean when I change it, the paint hasn't even bubbled off yet, I don't drive this much. It didn't even occur to me to check something like that, and until I had finally gone through replacing everything else that I could come up with, and it just didn't work. It's literally playing parts roulette, and you hurt your wallet, you kill time. Oh my god. So that's my stupid mistake, and I hope everybody learns something from it. It's definitely valuable to get a good diagnostic in before you dive into fixing whatever the issue might be. Even if that means taking it to somebody or having someone come look at it and say, yeah, look, here's your problem, you know, here's how much it'll take for you to have it fixed, and if you're handy, you can maybe do it yourself. But you know what, live and learn, and I've learned here. I did need a fuel filter, okay, at a $5 part. The spring was $4.99 American, and then $17 shipping, you know, across the border with it, so on and so on. So that was a $23, $22 something American spring that I had to purchase just to get this working again, and that's a small price, really small price to pay in the retrospect, considering what the new fuel injector costs. But I guess this one's brand new now too, and this is I don't remember the name brand of the other one. Jeez, I think this was that's bad, I don't even remember. Anyway, this one has a 3 or 5 year warranty, I think. I wrote the date on it on my receipt. I think this one has a 3 or 5 year. Anyways, it's got a warranty from the manufacturer against defects for the next, say, 5 years. So I'm covered with that sense now if I ever have a problem with this again. So she's warmed up. I'm going to let her cool down. I'm going to have some dinner. And then we're going to go for a test drive. Nice relaxed cruise in this thing finally. I got to put some gas in it actually. And then I can go get my emissions test, get my updated sticker, and this guy will be legal to rock the road again for another couple of years. So thank you guys so much for watching, and sorry this one dragged out for so long, but I appreciate you guys sticking around to the end. I really really means a lot. I'm hoping that you get something out of these videos more than just the entertainment of watching me and maybe laughing at my situation. I mean, man, that guy's dumb. He should have done this, this, and that. But we're all learning. I'm not a mechanic. I'm an electrician. If you want to watch me wire some stuff, okay, I can show you what I'm doing there, but I just tinker with this. This is fun to me. But, hey, we all got to start somewhere. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.